In the quiet rural outskirts of McMinnville, Oregon, on the evening of May 11, 1950, a seemingly ordinary couple took two photographs that would go on to become some of the most iconic images in the history of UFO research. Paul and Evelyn Trent, farmers living in the small community of Sheridan, were thrust into global notoriety by what they claimed to witness in the skies above their property, a metallic, disc-shaped object that hovered silently before zipping off into the clouds. It was Evelyn who first noticed the object. While walking back from the rabbit hutch at around 7:30 p.m, she saw a strange, silvery craft moving steadily across the sky. Alarmed but curious, she called out for Paul, who ran inside to retrieve his camera, a Kodak folding Roma, and managed to take two clear photographs before the object disappeared behind the tree line. The Trents made no immediate fuss. In fact, they waited several days before developing the film, only doing so once the roll had been finished. When the photos were finally shared with the local newspaper, the McMinnville Telephone Register, they sparked a wave of interest and controversy. The images showed a distinctly saucer-like object, tilted at an angle in the sky, sharply defined against the clouds, with no obvious signs of trickery or manipulation. Within weeks, the story had spread nationally. Life magazine published the photos, and they were examined by analysts, skeptics, and believers alike. Unlike many UFO reports, the case was unique in that it produced two well-composed photographs taken under daylight conditions by individuals with no known motive for hoaxing. The Trents, by all accounts, were humble, working-class people, uninterested in fame. They were described as cooperative, but overwhelmed by the sudden attention. Their story remained consistent over decades, and they never sought to monetize the sighting. Over the years, the photographs have been subjected to intense scrutiny. The University of Colorado's Condon Committee, tasked with investigating UFO phenomena on behalf of the US Air Force, examined the Trent photos in 1968. Their findings were inconclusive, noting no signs of fraud but leaving room for doubt. Decades later, optical physicist Dr. Bruce Maccabee studied the images in great detail, concluding that the object appeared to be a real, three-dimensional craft of unknown origin, casting a shadow. However, not everyone agreed. Skeptics such as Philip J. Klass and later Robert Schieffer proposed that the images might have been staged using a small model suspended from wires. In 2013, digital analysis using IPACO software identified a faint linear thread above the object in the second image, suggesting the possibility of suspension. This discovery reignited the debate, with believers arguing that such threads could be artifacts or damage, while critics declared the hoax theory all but proven. Beyond the technicalities, the case remains compelling because of the witnesses themselves. Paul and Evelyn Trent never wavered from their account, even after decades of public scrutiny. Evelyn passed away in 1997, followed by Paul in 1998. Until their deaths, they insisted the sighting was real and unembellished. Their quiet dignity only deepened the mystery for those who believed the photos depicted something truly anomalous. The cultural impact of the McMinnville UFO sighting has been immense. The small Oregon town now hosts an annual UFO festival, drawing thousands of visitors, researchers, and enthusiasts. What began as a local curiosity has grown into one of the most significant UFO events in the United States, second only to Roswell. The original negatives were eventually donated to McMinnville's Linfield College, where they remain archived for study. To this day, the photos are still cited as among the clearest and most debated pieces of visual evidence in the UFO field. They are part of academic lectures, documentaries, and countless books on unexplained aerial phenomena. The fact that they were taken before the explosion of UFO media in the 1950s and without any commercial motive lends them a rare level of authenticity. The case touches on broader themes in the history of ufology: the reliability of witness testimony, the limits of photographic analysis, the role of media in shaping public perception, and the ever-present tension between belief and skepticism. In the absence of definitive proof or disproof, the McMinnville photos remain what many researchers call the gold standard of UFO evidence, a compelling visual puzzle with no universally accepted solution. As for the current status of the key witnesses, both Paul and Evelyn Trent are deceased. Their lives, however, are inextricably linked with the phenomenon they inadvertently helped define. They lived and died as they began, quietly, modestly, and resolute in their belief that what they saw was real. In the decades since, the McMinnville sighting has evolved from a simple rural mystery into a foundational legend of the UFO canon. Whether hoax, misidentification, or genuine otherworldly encounter, it remains a landmark case in the study of the unexplained, a moment frozen in time, captured on film, still challenging our understanding of what might exist just beyond the clouds.
Want the weird, spooky, or just plain unexplainable? Subscribe and click notify. Our Strange World. We're here for balanced, reasoned analysis.